encouraging to see Chaplin and Ali out there in regular uniforms at least today?
Yeah, for sure. Chaplin further ahead than Ali, but it was good to have them both out there.
The other guys, Lawson, Gosnell, I guess, was in blue. Tootin, I would imagine, might keep it in blue for a while at this point.
Yeah, Gosnell and Tootin got some good work in. Kelly, not necessarily.
What does your linebacker rotation look like, depending on Kelly's availability?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some guys, again, that's why you cross-train those guys. JK's played both. Caleb's played, Star and Will. You got Sam at the Mike, and you got George Balance, who's played Mike and Will. So you got some flexibility there.
Good that you have this type of depth with McDonald and Lawson both battling injuries.
Correct, yeah. And, I think Kelly will play. It's just a matter of how many snaps.
Looks like on your offensive line, the left guard might be the biggest timeshare situation you have going there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, between Lath and Bob, I mean, they both merit playing time. They're still in competition with one another, and we're building depth at that spot, kind of like we are with Johnny. Brody's a guy that's played and supplies some depth on the other side behind Caden. But, I think it's a good competition. Lath and Bob support each other, but they're competing for time.
How seamless can a guy go from right guard where Bob was so much to the left side? Is it fairly easy to make that transition?
I wouldn't exactly say easy, but you do it, and it may take a week or two to kind of get used to it. But it is common.
With Schick, it feels like we've always talked about him, somebody pushing him for a spot, and he kind of just hangs around.
Yeah.
And he's in the lineup. What have you seen out of him?
Yeah, he's tough, he's mature, he's smart, he's big and strong. He's not losing as many one-on-ones as quickly as last year. He's giving things more of a chance, which is improvement. And Lath doesn't have, the age or the experience yet, but he's gaining a lot of that right now.
Has Sam Brumfield kind of been what you expected he'd
Yeah.
be through the first couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think so. Yep, he's. I tell you, he's an energizer guy. He's got nonstop hustle. He's a good leader, good worker. Plays low, plays with good pad level technique. Doesn't seem to get tired. Yeah, I've been pleased. I mean, I look for him to continue to get better as he gets more and more comfortable playing Mike in our system. But he's done a nice job to this point.
Has the helmet communication with him been as seamless as you would have hoped?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, it's been fine. I think it helps him, and and Coach Marv's gotten used to it. That took a little bit, but I think we're in a good place with it.
I guess it being Rutgers week, it's kind of an interesting time to look at Drones year over year, him making his first start last year. I mean, how different of a quarterback is he now? And
yeah, I tell you, he's much improved. That was I guess that was his first game, right? Starting and and it was a rough go. He did some good things that day, but and we hadn't tailored the offense to him yet. We were working on it. But and Rutgers has a nice defense. They do a good job. So that was a tough test right out the gate for him. But I think you look at the film, and we're certainly a better team right now, but they are too.
You said last week everything was sort of geared about getting the best out of Kyron and how he's playing. Do you feel like last week was a step in the right direction? With how
I do.
He performed?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, he by any means he didn't play perfect, but it was his best game of the season.
How so? What do you think he did?
Yeah, I thought he scrambled when he needed to scramble. He threw some good balls. He made good choices for the most part all day long. He got his confidence going, running the ball early. I thought he played well.
With the pick, was that just one? If he gets it out there farther, he's got a chance?
Yeah, if you watch that play, Aiden's open early. I think he's got to throw it a little quicker and put it out there a little further, and that's one for us instead of them.
I asked Dorian this yesterday about how important safety play is in this game, especially fitting the run, but also the fact that they're throwing the ball much more effectively as they were last year. How crucial is safety play?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, those guys, that's one of the tougher spots. I mean, you have great ownership in the pass game, and you've got in our defense, you got great ownership in the run game, particularly the boundary guy. So you have to be able to do both. And these guys, obviously they base their offense, in the ground game, but they have a very capable quarterback and system to hurt you throwing it. And I've seen it. When this play caller was at Minnesota, and they had a really good wide receiver, and it was run, play action RPO, run, play action RPO, and they hurt us out there, throwing the ball as much as anything.
It's also more Caleb Spencer against ODU. You almost had the pick there. Got a sack in 1v1s versus the O-line today. I know you've mentioned him working on special teams, and you're very complimentary of Woodson yesterday. What have you seen from him, especially with Lawson Lowe playing dog?
Yeah, we're gaining confidence and trust in him as a backup star to Keontae. Keontae's playing pretty well, but obviously can't play every snap. And Caleb's earning more and more playing time at that spot. Started with special teams, and it's working itself into the defensive rotation.
You brought in so many new tackles in the offseason. It's kind of difficult to see how those pieces will fit or uncertain. Have you been pleased with how that group is meshed and the rotation you have working?
I am. I like what we have with those five. I do. I've been pleasantly surprised with KG. He's more active than I thought he would be at this point. Kamari's still learning it, but has really flashed. And then obviously, I think the other guy that's really had a nice camp and playing well is Panay. And then of course Fuga and Aeneas have kind of held down those starting jobs and made it tough on them other guys. But I think we got a real solid group right there, and they're going to be tested on Saturday. They need to play well.
What has it been about Panay? He's sort of been a guy who's just been around, but it seems like he's making more plays.
Yeah, he's smart. He's always been smart. He's been banged up, and he's been too light at times. And he's finally got his weight at a good place that he's comfortable with. He's strong. He's been healthy for, consistent period of time through a couple of cycles, and it's shown up. He's not a young pup out there. He's got some experience on him and some age on him, and it's important to him. He practices and plays very hard.
You mentioned Devin Alves yesterday. We saw him have a pick today in 1v1s. Is he a guy you've seen come along pretty recently?
He's improved. Yep, he's improved. And, we got a long season. I would think his opportunity will come at some point. He gets better all the time, and he seems to find the ball about every other practice. He actually dropped the second one today. So he's an interesting guy that we need to keep pushing and keep developing and keep working. He's played some corner, he's played some safety. He's a long guy with a good skill set.
How's Perry's development at defensive line been?
Yeah, it's been good. He's raw. He plays hard. He practices hard. There's some things he's had to learn on and off the field about being part of our program and our culture. It's just different for him. But he's making some progress.
One or two more guys.
Where have you seen Kyron grow the most, I guess, from that Week 1 game against Vandy to now?
Honestly, I think he's kind of hit his stride in this last game where we're seeing him play like he played down the stretch last year. And that's really leaning into his strengths, running the ball and throwing the ball on the run. And, it's just that's who he is. And he's gotten better in a lot of other ways, but those are his strengths. And he's got to lean into those.
Had nearly 500 rushing yards for the last 2 weeks. Is that a good sign for this offense moving forward with the ability to get the ground game established?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, it's hard to win when you can't run it. You better have, Roethlisberger back there or Tom Brady. I mean, we got to be able to run the football and establish and play action and keep people honest and stay on schedule. That's the type of offense we are. And play complementary defense and make some plays on teams. And we got to do those things.